This is a great opportunity for you to move to Canada yourself or with your entire family. You see those expensive agents charging you thousands of dollars just to promise you Canada? Forget them. Because what I'm about to show you is a real government approved way to move to Canada legally without a degree, or if you are just a cleaner, a factory worker, or even a caregiver. There's a small city in Canada called Timmins. Probably you've never heard of it, but this city could literally change your entire life. They are in desperate need of workers, and they have opened their doors through something they call the Rural Community Immigration Pilot, which is currently ongoing in Canada. This is not just any random talk. This is an approved pathway by the government of Canada that most Africans just like you are using to get their permanent residency. Timmins is not in Toronto, it's not a loud place, it's not a big city, and it is not a flashy place. That is why a lot of people don't actually want to move there. So this is your lucky way for you to maneuver your way into Canada swiftly as soon as possible. They want people who are serious, people who are ready to come and work and settle in Timmins with their entire family. Because it's not a popular place, the competition is very low as compared to other communities who are part of this pathway program. In this video, I'll be breaking down how Africans just like you, whether you're a Kenyan, you're a Nigerian, you're a Ghanaian, you are from South Africa, or any part of the continent, you can get opportunity through this pathway. So if you are here and you are a contractor, you are a medicine, you are an engineer, or any skilled worker, a nurse, whatever your profession might be, this is a great opportunity for you. So sit down, take your pen and pencil, and I'll be breaking everything down for you to have a vivid understanding of how to apply the document needed, basically the general requirements for you to apply, and also how to increase your chances of getting approval. Remember, I've already made 2 videos about this rural community immigration pilot about Canada. I spoke about Brandon and I spoke about Sault Marie. I'll be leaving the links in the description. Go ahead and also apply for those ones because application is currently ongoing. If you are new on this channel, my name is Jakut and I want to take this opportunity to welcome you on this channel. On this channel, we talk about immigration simplified for you to understand it vividly. I am not an immigration officer. I am not affiliated to any organization, individual, or whatever you might call it. I am an individual myself and I share information based on research and experience. So you are allowed to also go ahead and do your research. Let's get straight into business. Thank you for joining me on my desktop. So we are on the official website of Timmins Rural Community Immigration Pilot, or Francophone Community Immigration Pilot. Now, remember that there's a difference between Rural Community Immigration Pilot and Francophone Community Immigration Pilot. So as somebody who speaks English, you can go and apply for something like Francophone Community Immigration Pilot. So for us, we are going to check the requirement for people who will be applying for the Rural Community Immigration Pilot. So as you can see here, this is the priority sectors and occupation, which means these are the work and jobs that are in high demand. So when you get employment in one of these sectors, there's a high possibility that they will be shortlisting you among the people that they'll be allowing to settle in their community. So let's check some of the priority sectors. We have the health sector, we have education and social community government service, we have trees and transport, we have natural resource and agriculture, we have business, finance, and administration. So let's check some of the priority occupation. There are actually a lot of priority occupation right here, which means when you get jobs from one of these priority occupations, there's a very high demand that you'll be shortlisted among the lucky people that will be allowing you to settle in their community that will lead you into a permanent residency. They have a financial advisor, they have accounting technician and bookkeeper. It is actually a lot. Over here, they have social community service workers, they have early childhood educators and assistants. So something like teaching or caregiving. They have home support workers, which falls under the caregiving. They have construction trees helpers and laborers. They have underground production development mines. In fact, there's a lot. Let's scroll down here to check the process involved. So over here they have employers. So if you're an employer, this is the requirement. Since we are not employers, I know we are job hunters. All those people watching are job hunters. So none of this is our business. So let's scroll down here. Over here is candidate. So as a candidate like you who is searching for a job, these are the steps that you need to go through to get a job offer. So as a candidate, it says step one, who can apply? That is the question. Who can apply, as you've been asking yourself? Yes, you are one of them, but let's check what rural community immigration pilot into bracket Timmins is actually seeking from you. So it says that make sure you meet the IRCC federal eligibility requirement. Click the corresponding link below to ensure you meet the applicant requirement. So let's check up what IRCC have to say. Now, as I said, this is Francophone Community Immigration Pilot. We are not interested in that because none of us here actually speak French. So we are looking for rural community immigration pilot, which is for people from English speaking countries. So if you know you speak French, you go ahead and tap on the Francophone ones because that means you will be working in companies that people actually speak French or communities where people speak French. So let's check out the normal requirement from IRCC, Rural Community Immigration Pilot. So we come to the Rural Community Immigration Pilot. Who can apply? This is what IRCC is actually telling us. It said to apply for permanent residence through the Rural Community Immigration Pilot into brackets RCIP, you must have a valid job offer from a designated employer in the community. So if I say designated employer, what they're actually telling you is that your job offer shouldn't come from anybody at all. Yes, maybe you might have a job offer from somebody who live in Timmins, but if the person is not accepted on the Timmins Rural Community Immigration Pilot designated employers, which is listed there, I'll be taking you to those employers for you to know them. You cannot be selected among the lucky winners. Take note of that. You should also have a 1 year or 1,560 hours of related work experience in the past 3 years. So your work experience is very, very important. They don't want a newbie to move there. They want experienced people to move there so that you don't look like when you get there, this is a time that we are going to teach you how to do this or how to do that. You should be an experienced person already before relocating to Timmins. In respect of the related working experience, there are a lot of things that count, in respect of that. Work experience exemption if you studied and graduated in the community. Sorry. It simply means that let's say you went to school in Timmins, maybe you're a foreigner, but that's where you studied, you are being exempted from the work experience. That is why I keep saying that sometimes if you want to school in Canada, don't be looking at I want Toronto. If you go to some of these smaller cities or smaller communities, they have pathway that can lead into permanent residencies much easier. So imagine you studied in a different province or community, you need to meet this working experience. But since you studied in that Timmins community or city, you are exempted from the working experience in certain ways. So you could click here and check some of these things. For the video not to be long, I'm brushing you through very quickly, but I'll make sure I take you through all the process for you to understand whatever we are talking about very well, so that you can do your own application in the house. So over here say that prove your language abilities by taking an approved test. So they have an approved test. You can do an IELTS, which is the common one. An IELTS will expire after 2 years. So don't worry if you don't have IELTS, you can go ahead and put in your application. And whilst you put in your application, you write your IELTS. One thing is when you're applying for job abroad, IELTS is very important. You need to take your IELTS exams. So when scroll down, one of the requirements is have a Canadian educational credential or foreign equivalent. So one thing is that you need to evaluate your certificate. Over here say prove you have enough money to support your transition and your family's transition into the community. And as I said earlier on, you could come along with your family. This is a great opportunity, my people. You could come along with your family. The rural community immigration pilot is actually ongoing. I'll be talking more in the coming days. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do well to subscribe. And this is an opportunity to keep trying, keep putting in your application. I made a video about different opportunities in Canada. Make sure you start putting in your application now before the end of the year. So you need to have enough money. They don't want you to be a public charge. In other words, they don't want you to come to Canada and be a burden to the government. At the end of the day, you'll be eating in the job banks. So if you tap here on enough money to send you to where they will show you the money you need to move to Canada. But make sure that if you check and let's say they say in Canada you need $20 to live in a day or $30 to live for 1 year, make sure that $30 you have multiple of that. Some people when they check and they see $30, they want to have exact $30 in their bank account. Now let's move back and check the other steps which is actually involved in this. Step 2 said get a job offer. Applicant must secure a full-time permanent employment. Now take note, a full-time. So if you want to relocate and you have the intent to live there, you must get a full-time employment. You can't get a part-time job employment and be willing to go and live there. It doesn't work that way. So a job offer has to be a full-time employment in the region with designated employer in one of the priority sectors and occupation listed above. Take note of that. So your work or the job you are looking for should be from a designated employer inside the community or city, which is Timmins. It can't be outside that place. You can't go and get a job in Toronto and come and be applying for this. They will push your application away. Get community recommendation. It says that once you have a valid job offer from a designated employer, the employer will submit an application community recommendation during one of the monthly intake periods listed below. So remember that they have intake periods. Ensure you have provided them with all the necessary documents required for a complete application. So don't go and be missing your documents. Add all the necessary documents you need. So if you tap here, it will send you to the document checklist they'll be requesting from you. So let's check the intake period currently happening. So in 2025 intake period, they have the 27th of April, which started on the 12 a.m. to May 3rd, 11:59 p.m., which means this intake period has passed. Now let's check on the second intake period, which is May 25th, which means it is currently ongoing, which started on 12 a.m., which will end on the May 31st, 11:59 p.m. This is an intake period which is currently ongoing. Take advantage of it. So this intake period continues till November 23rd, 12 a.m. to November 29th, 11:59 p.m. No darling at all. There's still opportunity for you from now to November. There is no excuse. Do well to put in your application as early as possible. That's how application are processed. The Timmins Regional Rural Community Immigration Pilot blah 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 ranks application in pool using a point-based system. Now remember, this point-based system is not as difficult as the express entry points-based system. This is much easier. It's not even close to the express entry system. Take note of that. It says that complete application meeting the eligibility requirement. A minimum score of 50 points required will be placed into the candidate pool. Good. So I don't want to go through all this, but one thing you should know is that they'll shortlist. If let's say if you and somebody have the same 50 score or 50 points, what they do is that they check the person that actually applied first. I hope you are taking note of it. You should apply as early as possible. Now this score of 50, a lot of people will be having it in brackets. So let's say you and person A and person B have 50. What they'll do in shortlist is they check the person that applied first. So if you have this 50 score and 50 score, maybe 80 score and 80 score with somebody, make sure that you apply early. Because if you apply early, that will be an advantage for you because they will select you over that person. I hope you are following. I hope you are getting what I'm trying to say. So make sure you apply much earlier than the person. Step 5 say apply for permanent residency. So after you've gotten a job offer and you've been selected, you have to apply for your permanent residency. It says if your employer's recommendation application is approved, you receive a recommendation certificate that allows you to apply to the IRCC permanent residency. The recommendation certificate is valid for a period of 6 months. So if you are given this recommendation certificate, what they are trying to tell you is you need to apply for permanent residency between 6 months. If you do not, then boom, it's going to expire and you need to apply for it again, or you might miss the opportunity. So when you go to step 6, it says that settlement in the northeast, which means you have to have interest to settle there. So let's read what I have here. It says once you have applied for and or receive your permanent residency from the IRCC, you will be asked to communicate with the TEDC and your employer to share details, timelines about your relocation to the region if applicable. Your employer will support you by connecting you to settlement service. So you and your employer, communication will go on. So by all means, they will help you to move there and the process involved and everything, helping you integrate into the workplace and welcoming you to the community. So after everything, when you are settling, the employee, maybe you are coming with your family, housing issues, how to get familiar with the place, or getting a car to settle in, your employer will help you with all of these. Let's go to the last but not the least, which is step 7. Step 7 says optional. Take note, optional. If you require a temporary work permit while your permanent residency application is being processed at the IRCC, click here to learn about the steps involved. This is not really too important. If you are getting your permanent residency, there's no need in applying for a work permit again. But maybe in certain situations, one way or the other, or maybe for some reasons, you might want to apply for your work permit. I know someone might be asking, how do I apply? How do I apply? So we are going to come back to the step 2 and check the employers who are listed on Timmins Rural Community Migration Pilot. So when you come here, you tab here. Boom. These are the designated employers that can employ you. There are a lot of them here. So when you come here, you could save this as a PDF or anyhow you want to save it. So it says list of designated employers, Timmins Rural Community and Francophone Community Immigration Pilot. The following employers are designated as eligible to participate in the Rural Community Immigration Pilot. Now take note that as time goes on, more employers will submit their application to join these people. So do well to be checking for more employers and who will be joining and be applying for more and multiple. You get my point. So they said, and for the Francophone Community Immigration Pilot for Timmins and surrounding region. So if you check here, we have the priority sector, we have the health sector. There's actually health sectors. So these are the employers' legal business names. If you search on it on Google, you will find it. There's a lot of them. They have the Abson Regional Hospital. If you look here, pilot designated under Rural Community Immigration Pilot. They have a lot of them. They have the St. Mary's Garden GP. They have a lot of employers right here, as you can see. If you come to trees and transport, they have blah 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 Ontario, whatever. They have enterprise, not hiring. Take note, over here he's not actually hiring right now, but he was accepted among the designated employers. So if you go and tap on this and you're searching on him, you will not find any job there. When you scroll down, there are a lot of them down here. They have the Agnico Eagle Mines Limited, blah blah blah. There are a lot of them right here. So one might be asking, how do I apply? So if you come here, you see this particular employer on job bank, that means the person can employ you. But with this, I'm going to show you a strategy that you can apply without going to job bank, but you go directly to the website or the company's career list to go and apply directly over there. Now remember that every rural community immigration pilot, which is for any community, how to apply is different. There are some of them you can apply directly on the website. Some of them they will list it or they will leave it in a PDF like this for you to copy it, search for the employers and apply directly on their website. And this is what Timmins rural community immigration pilot is actually doing. So let's randomly select one of these employers. Let's select, this is actually under the sector of natural resource and agriculture. So let's select Anico Eagle Mines Limited. Okay, let's go with Anico. Now this is the company which is Anico Eagle Mines. When you come here, you have to select your location or the location you are looking for the job. They have jobs in Quebec, Ontario, blah blah blah. Remember that the jobs we are looking for right now are Timmins. Timmins is actually located in Ontario. So select Ontario, don't go and select a different place. Some of the companies are actually even located in different countries. So make sure that you are doing the right selection. You go and select Quebec or a different place and you get employment there, these people are not going to shortlist you among the rural community immigration pilots. This is one of the designated employers. Now, when you are searching for the designated employers, when you go to your Google Chrome and you are searching for them, so with Anico Eagle Mines, when you are searching for them, you add careers to it so that you send you directly to their career board. You get my point? So over here, as you can see, as it says, careers. So that one will not be roaming on their website or their company website and you don't know where to actually head to. Now, you have to also filter in. Remember that the companies, some of them are international companies. They are not only located in Canada or only Ontario. This company itself, they have a branch in Australia also. So make sure you enter the right filters. You are entering the right filters. So if you come here, say select a site or job type. So over here, the kind of job type you are looking for is a professional technical position. There are actually a lot of positions right here. So make sure you are entering the one that you know that you qualify for. After everything, you tap on search. Now when you tap on search, make sure the job available is a full-time job or a permanent job. Else if you go and select a part-time job, you won't be shortlisted. That means you don't have an intent to live in Canada. I'll be ending here, but I wish you all the best in your application. And I know by the grace of the Most High, next year or by the end of this year, you will call me and tell me that my brother Jakut have gotten to Canada. If you're finding value in this channel, do well to subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment in the comment section. I'll be leaving the links in the description for you to go and check them out. Since you've enjoyed this video to this point, do well to also share to somebody that it will be beneficial to. Anyway, which way, let's meet on the other side. Finally, now you know this is the time for you to put in your application. No dulling at all. Try your possible best and put in an application and change the story of your family. I believe you can do it. I wish you all the best in your application. Anyway, which way, if you haven't subscribed, do well to subscribe to this channel, like this video, turn on the notification bell so when we drop exciting videos like this, you'll be the number one to get notified. Bye bye.